Welcome back. Your last but 1 week of home learning. I hope you're all well at home and got on well with the learning for this week just gone. I'm going to start you off today by having a look at the foundation work that we've given you. Topic is the first subject we're going to talk about, and we're going to look at sustainability. So following on from your understanding of climate change, you're going to look at the importance of being sustainable in what you do and what you use. So find out what is going to be good for the people, environment and the economy, both for now and in the future. Are paper bags more sustainable than plastic bags? Are electric cars going to be more sustainable than petrol and diesel cars? And you're then going to find out a little bit more about the company Tesla, who produce electric cars. So I hope you enjoy that lesson. Then in science, we're going to be continuing on from our states of matter work by looking at how to separate mixtures. So when two mixtures have been combined, you can then have a look at how you separate them again. I've given you two options. You can either, if you have an adult to supervise you, go straight to do 4 different experiments and then work out yourself the best way of separating them using things like evaporation or sieving. Or if you don't have a parent who can supervise you, have a go through the Oat learning lessons where she will do the experiments for you, and you can have a look at taking part in understanding which methods you were best to separate the different materials. Also, if you do that, it's still likely to perhaps have a go later at adding a solution of water and salt and leaving it in a warm place and seeing what that will create, because it's quite a fun experiment. So I hope you get on well with that lesson. And then we've got art. Now in art, we'd like you to pull together all of the big shading techniques that you've been learning over the last 2 months by looking at an artist called Joan Miro. And he will take you through or show you his work, and you can adapt it using different shading techniques. So follow on that Oat learning lesson and have a fun week. Pass you over to Mr. Van.
Thank you very much, Miss Colby. Right, just before I'm going to start, well done for another week of English. This week we'll do 1 more week of Oak learning, and then the next week we'll do something slightly different. So hang in there, and well done again for persevering with all your work. So coming week you will be looking at a newspaper report. There will be an article about a spaceship that has crashed. And the first 2 days you will do a comprehension around it with a mixed bag of questions. And then on Wednesday, the 3rd day, you're going to look at the features of a newspaper report. So you're going to look at the headlines, you're going to look at the subheading, you're going to look at the introduction that needs to have the 5 W's and how to finish an article. Part of it then, on day 4, on Thursday, you will be looking at direct speech and indirect speech. So at the very end of an article, you often find that someone gives quotes or there's an interview between someone, and it's just a way how a newspaper can, for example, lay it out what someone has said. And on Friday, you will be writing your own newspaper article. Now you can choose, there you've got 4 pictures, you can choose from those events, but of course you can also choose an event that may have happened in Buchan or Dorking, Leatherhead, wherever you'll be living, or you can make up an event and of course write an article about that. Last but not least, computing. So the computing lesson for the week, we were very interesting to see, because with the time you've had, is what kind of computer games you have been playing or that you normally play online. And there's also what kind of features do they have? So what can you do? For example, can you purchase things for the games that you're playing? Can you chat to others? So it'd be very interesting. So make a poster about all the games you're doing. And with the games, can I explain what kind of, what you can do, what the activities you can do in those games? And there's also, can you, for example, give advice to other year groups? What can you do, for example, if you experience something whilst playing online that might make you worried or anxious. Okay. Once you've done that, there's a little link for a game called Band Runner, and you can play it against your brother, your sister, or an adult, and you can see who can, in the end, collect the most coins. Good luck. I'm going to pass you over to Miss Blaney.
Hi, Year 5. I can tell you about the maths that you're going to be doing next week. We're continuing with shape, and I know that a lot of you actually enjoyed the change from doing mathematical calculations this week. So on the Monday, we're going to explore the diagonals of different quadrilaterals. On the next day, we're going to go back and look at the names and properties of 3D shapes. And on Wednesday, you're going to look at 3D shapes, but you're going to look at them in different orientations. On Thursday, we're going to move on to nets. So we're going to be looking at nets of 3D shapes. And finally, the final lesson on shape is investigating circles. You will need a tape measure or a piece of string for this lesson. I know the challenge questions are quite different this week. They're not based on the lesson that you've had. What we've done is we've given you some revision sheets. All the tasks that have been set, you've covered earlier on in the year. And we're using the white rose sheets that you used when we first started doing lockdown work. So you'll be familiar with these. So the things you're going to revise on Monday, you're going to do some multi-step problems involving addition and subtraction. On Tuesday, I wonder if you've remembered how to do long multiplication, because you're going to be multiplying 3 digits by 2 digits. And on Wednesday, we're going to look at two-way tables, and you're going to use those tables to solve problems. And on Thursday, we're going to go back to looking at the area of compound shapes. And the final lesson is on translation. So that's really the end of all our maths that we've been doing this term. We will be doing some more fun things in the final few days. Right, so what else have we got? We've got PHSCE. Now, last week, hopefully, you started your passport booklets. Those will be sent up to your Year 6 teacher. So, please bring them in, when you come in on your transition day. By now, you will know who your next teacher is. Okay, so I know it once you know, there's a feeling of relief, isn't there, when you know where you're going and who you're going to. You're lucky because on the days that you come in, you will be going to your new classroom. The Year 6 teachers are really looking forward to meeting you all. We've given them lots of good news about you. Okay, so they know what they're getting, so to speak. But we will make sure that we can come and see you, say hello, and even if it is goodbye. It's not really goodbye because, of course, we will see you in September. What I would like to say to all of you, it's the end of term now. Everybody's getting very tired, teachers as well as, you pupils. You have worked extremely hard. We're very proud of you. So, keep this last week going and then the next few days of the following week, and then you're on your holidays. So holidays will be a bit different. I don't expect many of you will be able to fly off to foreign countries like you have in the past, but at least you'll have a break from your learning and you're going to come back in September all refreshed and enthusiastic. So until we meet soon, goodbye. Bye, Year 5.
Bye, Year 5.
Bye.